Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome to the final episode of F1 Manager 22. This is the very last time we'll be racing with this game. We will be playing the next installment, F1 Manager 23, from next week onwards. So, we're going to end challenge mode tonight with the final race of Season 3 at the Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. We've already won the Constructors' Championship quite comfortably in the end, a lot more comfortably than I thought we would. However, the Drivers' title was a bit more of a challenge, and Red Bull kind of fell away a little bit towards the end of the season, specifically Perez, which is what made the Constructors so easy, but Max kind of struggled a bit in the last couple of races as well, which really took some of the pressure off. And last night we managed to confirm Felipe in second place in the Drivers' Championship. 14 points ahead of Max. There's only 10 points up for grabs in this Grand Prix. So he is now confirmed in second place after a spirited fight back at Brazil in the dying laps on brand new softs, hunting down and then overtaking a lot of cars to get himself up into the points and finish in fifth place. With Max spinning out and dropping himself back down the order again. So, yeah, an exciting, dramatic finish to last night's race. And let's see if we can finish this series and this game on a bang. Let's see if we can get a 1-2 tonight. That would be really nice. A great way to sign off this game, I think. So, let's see. Everything is pretty much prepped and ready. All we need to do is set our targets, which we're not going to bother with. We're just going to go straight into the Grand Prix weekend. So, we've reviewed our targets. Let's get to Abu Dhabi.
We're at Yas Island in Abu Dhabi for the Formula One Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit was completed in 2009, and we've seen a fair share of celebration and commiseration over the years since then. The scenery may be spectacular, but this weekend, all eyes will be on the track. There's a reason why the Yas Marina circuit is used as a test track. The long straights put engine power through its paces, while the twists and bends make medium-speed downforce just as important at this challenging circuit. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Let's get this underway.
Evening, Mr. Water. Good to see you tonight. Right, as always, fine weather for the Grand Prix. No threat of rain. I'm looking forward to maybe being able to race in the wet on this circuit at some point on the next game, maybe, depending on the scenario. I think there's a rain in Bahrain scenario. That's going to be interesting to take that track on in the wet. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We've still got this race to deal with. So let's jump through straight into getting our cars prepped for practice. We are going to go with hard tyres in the first session and 17 laps of fuel. We're not going to bother looking after the car or the pace settings. We're just going to obviously put worn parts in so we can keep the freshest stuff for the race itself. But we're going to go with 77% engine and 76% engine. For the ERS modules, we'll go with the 66 and the 73. And then for the gearboxes, the 53 and the 15. Save the other one for the race. There we go. Let's take a look at getting Felipe's car prepped as well. There we go, 17 laps. Not changing the pace settings. Let's take a look at the sliders. So we want probably, I would say, on this car a 6.5 and a 12, a 1.9. Let's go to. Do I go 1.9 or go 2.8? I'll go 1.9. So we'll drop that down to a 5.5 and a 12, a 1.9, 3.35. And for the toe, we'll go with a 1. There we go, everything fits. That'll be Felipe's starting setup. Let's take a look at Freddie. For Freddie, we're definitely looking at a 1.9 here as well. Given that, I think what I'll do is I'll convert Felipe onto a 2.8. So we'll put that setup on this car. So 5.5, 12, 1.9, 3.35, and a 1. That is right on the cusp. Might have to dial that back a touch, but we'll see. So yeah, rather than having the same identical setup, let's mix things up a little bit. So we'll go with the 6.5, 12 to 8, minus 2.9, and the 0.7, and that is not going to work. So what else could I go with? Let's go with a 12.5 and a 5, 2.8, a 3.5 and a 1. There we go, and we'll try that. So a bit of variation in the front and rear wing settings between both our cars, and let's send them out.
Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, it's green now.
Really hope the frame rate performance issues of this track in particular are dealt with on the next game as well. It always seems to be a bit juddery on this track. And this will be the first session of the season where we actually don't have to look at ourselves at the very bottom of the timing sheets. We'll actually have relatively competitive times this time round. How you doing, Refill? Oh, and it's a lock-up already, straight in the wall. Freddy, what are you doing to me? Maybe he's not used to going out in practice at full speed. Please tell me you haven't retired. He's retired! He didn't even make half a lap. That's awful. He got out of Sector 1 and didn't even make it out of Sector 2. Jesus.
This was the Aston Martin.
What a great start.
Thank goodness nobody else was involved. That was a big crash.
I'm glad I made that spare suspension and well, spare chassis now.
Big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover?
And it's
We need to retire the car.
our best. It's our best set of tyres for that as well for long runs. That is brutal. Okay. No way of checking on how bad the damage to the car is until we get back. But yeah, that's not encouraging, is it? Putting it in the wall after just half a lap of an out lap. Literally straight out the garage, straight into the wall. Ridiculous. Still, as Farah said last night, at least he got the championship out of the way before he started resorting to some of his unpredictability from last season. So, we're within a second of Norris's time, which, considering we're running harder tyres, and I've got a destroyed gearbox and probably a worse engine, isn't too bad. The hard tyres are slow around this track, so I wasn't expecting to be particularly fast on this stint. And with an underpowered engine and a completely knackered gearbox, it's not that surprising to see him struggling to set decent pace. Someone else has crashed. I think That might be an Alpine.
They've crashed out.
Yep.
Let's take a closer
That's
look.
not Sector 1.
Daniel Ricciardo
That's still
involved
Sector
here.
3. Not Sector 1 till he crosses the start-finish line.
Dear me, they won't have been expecting that.
How does it feel?
I mean, we're lapping, what? 0.6 slower than Norris? That's not bad. 83%, so some work still to be done. God knows what condition Vesti's car is in. He didn't even, complete a lap, so we're certainly not going to get any feedback on that. Rear wing is optimal, so we need to look at everything else. Let's try going to a 3.7. Makes that a 3.3. Leave that as a 1. Actually, I'm going to pull that back in just a touch. Let me try that. So, just the one car to worry about for the rest of this session. When it comes to soft tyres as well, soft tyres don't last amazingly long around this track. I mean, they're not horrendous like they are in circuits like Brazil, but still don't last an amazing amount of time. So we might have to go into tyre conservation for Freddie in session 3.
Oh, we've had a spin.
Actually, I'll probably do it in session 2, and then just once we've got the setup nailed, then we'll just run him on a long stint on the mediums in session 3. Get him his track knowledge. Tyres have definitely seen better days. That's the downside to not looking after your tyres in practice, is they wear out so much quicker. Someone else has put it in the wall, I think.
Let's have a look. Let's take another look.
That's Joe at the hairpin.
A definite
Not so much of a hairpin anymore, but been widened a bit, but it's still kind of technically a hairpin. How many laps have we done as well? We've done 29 laps to get these tyres down to 40-something%. Yeah, so we can do about 30 laps on these tyres in the race to get them down to about 40%. That's not too bad. A yellow flag has become a VSC because of a crash for Schumacher.
We've just had a crash on the
That's
track.
turn 1. Ooh, that's unusual.
Right, watch this. There's
Did he
Schumacher.
spin into the barrier? No, he just went wide.
That crash is terrible news for the team.
What do you think?
92%, so we have improved. We've gone the right way, just haven't gone quite far enough. So at least that suggests that the 3.7 was the right choice. Ocon's put it in a barrier now.
Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon.
That's turn, the final turn.
They've lost control and then...
And there we go. End of session for Felipe. Let's have a look. What can we change? interestingly, the roll bar still needs to move, so that to me suggests it's going to be a 4-6. Going to drop the front wing down. Going to push that up to a 3-4. That's close. Kind of don't really want to mess with that too much. If I do that, yeah, we'll try that. We'll see if that works.
We've just had a car run wide.
Good session.
For Felipe, maybe. Not so much for Freddie. So Norris is bringing a penalty. Ricardo's got a penalty. Perez has penalties. Are they for new parts? Let's have a look. So Perez is running a brand new ERS module, but his engine's still knackered. So he's not going to be that quick in the race. Ricardo was another one. He's running a new engine and a new ERS. Norris was one, wasn't he? Norris is running a new ERS. Anyone else? Was it just those three? Just those three. Oh, of course, Freddie's got that 3-place penalty for the crash at Brazil. An unfair 3-place penalty. Because Schumacher hit him and he then clipped Russell as a result and got a penalty for that. Right, we're going to go soft tyres for Freddie. He's going to do 2 runs. I'm going to drop his tyre wear down just a touch. Just to make sure that they last, because, well, it says 24 laps, but they'll be dead. Well, no, I suppose we should be okay. So 17 laps. Leave his pace alone. Medium tyres for Felipe. He's going to do 25 laps. Again, we'll leave the pace alone. Gearbox is a bit knackered, but should be okay. I have absolutely no idea if any of that is correct because, as I say, he didn't even finish a lap, so we've got no feedback at all. So we've effectively lost an entire session.
Ready to check?
Let's hope he doesn't destroy the car again. Oh, for God's sake! What the hell is going on with Freddie Bestie?
So this was the Aston Martin.
This is outlap again.
There's the crash.
We put a point in his control to stop shit like this.
Team are really disappointed.
Oh my God. That gearbox has taken a pummeling this year. He's got minor chassis. That's another broken chassis then, assuming he broke one the first time out. And another broken front wing, so we're going to have to call him in and get that wing changed. Oh my God. At least the tyres didn't get destroyed. This is not behaviour befitting of a world champion. He can't even complete, half a lap, let alone a lap. Come on, this time. Do not put it in the wall again. We're going to stay with Freddie here and hope. Well, he's made it round corner 5. That is a start. That's better than his last attempt. This is where he locked up in FP1. And he survives that corner. This is the behaviour of an ultimate rookie. This is season 1, Freddie. This is not I've just won a world championship, Freddie. He's driven supremely this year and is now acting like a complete idiot on track. Alright, we're going to stay with him because I want to see if he can actually complete a lap at speed. That was his out lap. So he's managed to successfully complete an out lap for the first time this weekend. Okay, we're past both of the normal lock-up points. Still a couple of points where drivers like to make mistakes. But we came into this Grand Prix weekend with 2 spare front wings and a spare chassis, and I don't think I'm going to have any spare chassis or front wings. In fact, I might even have to make a new chassis after this session, just to be able to put one back on the car. There we go. He can complete a lap. Good lad. Bad time. Right. It's not looking particularly quick. Again, using worn components, so I'm not overly concerned about that. The AI that has put new stuff in is wearing it out a little bit in these practice sessions. So we will be quicker when it comes to actually qualifying, although given how erratic Freddie has been, giving him a car that's even faster might not be the smartest move. Someone's crashed and I immediately thought, oh god, not again Freddie. But it's not him. It's a McLaren.
Yellow ahead. Yep.
Norris.
Let's see what happened there. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris.
Just running wide and hitting the barrier.
And a big off.
What's your thoughts on
Oh
coming
god,
in?
that setup's
Doing
awful.
any more?
70%, well not even 70%. That's horrific.
We've had a spin.
Albon spinning the car. Right, we need to do some serious work here. So we're going to have to go to a 12.5. Okay, so we'll go a 5, a 12.5, a 3.7, 3.3, and a 1. That isn't going to work. Let's pull the 1 in a bit. And let's see how that works. Fresh tyres. Gonna up the run plan to 20 laps. So I'll go 22 laps. Try and squeeze as much out of this run as we can. He needs time on track.
How's the balance?
96 for Felipe. Getting closer. Not quite there yet. There we go. Out goes Freddie. I'll set of brand new softs. Oh, only 18 laps. Has got those tyres down to 30%. That's not encouraging. That's really not encouraging. We're definitely going to have to play the patient game, I think. Look after the tyres during the Grand Prix. Okay, yeah, all we need to do is 2 clicks there, and that should theoretically be it. Let's go ahead and make those changes, and we'll try that in the next session. Every time I see competitor crash, I immediately think Freddie's put it in the wall. It's not Freddie.
Single yellow.
Not sure who it is. Sonoda, turn 5.
Who's running wide there?
Oh, that's a spin.
Let's take a closer look.
No, this is not a
Let's have
spin
look
into the
here.
barrier.
This was the Aston Martin. They spun the car. What a
Evening, Jeremy.
disaster. The team are devastated.
Well, that's going to ruin his
out there.
track knowledge gaining. Flatten this curve out a bit. So we're going to get him to look after the tyres a bit better. So they've got a bit more grip.
Oh, did someone
Still
run wide
plummeting
there?
down. Look at that percentage just drop. Let's go down to ultimate saving. Yeah, that's slowed that wear rate down considerably. 92%, so that's a huge improvement from 69%. Still not great, and still only 20% on track knowledge. I'm not going to get him anywhere close to 100%. I think even running one, continuously for the entire session in session 3 is still not going to get him close to where he needs to be. Eden Farrett, you missed an interesting start to the sessions. Freddie crashed on his outlap in FP1 and retired the car. And then we got to session 2 and Freddie crashed on his outlap and broke a front wing and damaged his chassis. So yeah, he's not having a great weekend. Oh, and he's had a spin as well. So, world champion just letting it all hang loose. I did say last night as well, Farah, that we'd be starting at 8:30 tonight. So we can get the end of season stuff done. 28% track knowledge, that's terrible. Right, let's have a look. Oh, still only good, so that's going to have to be a 4.6 as well. Okay, we'll drop that down to a 4, a 12.5, a 4.6. We'll go 4.5, 12.5, 4.6. A 3.25 and a 0.65. 0.7. Let's try that. So, medium tyres. Run plan. We want 36 laps, and we want him to basically look after the car, because he needs to run the entire session without incident to get his track knowledge anywhere close to where we need it to be. He needs to hit 85%-ish, along with a 100% car part knowledge and a 100% setup knowledge to get his full 15 out of 15. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that or not. Felipe, we're going to send out for 20... We'll try and squeeze him for 28 laps. I don't know if he'll be able to last that long on those tyres, so we'll make sure he looks after them for the whole stint. We've changed the setup already. Driving options are set. Alright, here we go.
Radio check.
Radio check.
Green light, green light.
Right, can Freddie make the outlap? Actually stick the outlap for the first time in a Grand Prix weekend this weekend. He's made it past turn 5. That's better than the last session. Can he get past turn 6, which is where he crashed in FP1 on his outlap? Yes, he can. And he makes it past turn 7, which is where he spun halfway through the session. Still an opportunity for him to screw up his outlap for the 3rd session in a row. As he goes into the hotel section. Okay, coming up to the final corner, which is where a lot of cars went wide and broke their front wing. Oh, that's a point. Speaking of which, I forgot to check what chassis he's running. Might need to manufacture a brand new one for him. Well, he made his outlap. That's a good start. So that's an encouraging sign, given how the rest of the weekend has gone so far.
I think someone's run wide.
Got a wobble for Yuki. Okay, who has crashed?
Oh, and that's a crash.
Stroll has crashed. Oh, another crash. Schumacher has crashed again. He's crashed at turn 6. That's brought out the VSC. That's his race, or his practice session over.
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car.
virtual safety car is ending.
Mm, 97. Oh, that's close. It's not quite there. I need to run him for the whole session. So I don't think he's going to get his full 15 out of 15. We should be able to get 14 out of 15. We've had some great times with this game, sniff, sniff. Yeah, remember all those times that Hamilton was doing really well. Remember all those times that Hamilton wasn't doing so well, and the chat filled with mad whooping screams of excitement from one particular person. Remember the cursing every time we went to the ham cam. I got some good and bad news for you. You're going to see a lot more ham cam in the next game because we're going to be starting with Mercedes.
How does it feel?
97% for Felipe. Interesting. Just waiting to see this message saying that Farah has left the chat. And under knowledge that we're going to be starting with Mercedes and Hamilton next year. Yeah, the plan is, given that we can change teams, or we'll be able to change teams, is that we'll run a couple of seasons with Mercedes, and then come September, when the change comes out, rather than running two separate series, alongside each other, we're just going to keep running one series all the way through, and we're going to keep changing teams at random points. Well, I say random, not like right before the start of the third Grand Prix of the fifth season kind of thing. No, we'll make changes. We'll do a few seasons with Mercedes, 2 maybe 3, depending on how many we get done before the patch comes out. Then we'll look at maybe switching to, I don't know, maybe Ferrari, depending on how Ferrari are doing. And then after a couple of seasons with Ferrari, we might go somewhere else, maybe Williams, and try and restore Williams. It all depends on how the game is going to shake things up. In terms of car performance. Okay, so that needs to go back that way a bit. But, I mean, like we've seen in this is only the end of Season 3, and Ferrari have been nowhere in this particular season. So it's entirely possible that, teams could fluctuate quite dramatically, depending on what regulations change, and, what drivers go where, what staff go where. I know quite a few people are going to want to start with Ferrari. Ferrari aren't really in a position where they need restoring, really. At least not in a huge amount. I mean, Mercedes are more of a team that needs restoring than Ferrari, I would say, to start with. But I'd say Ferrari could fall apart. Oh, that's a spin for a Red Bull there. Ferrari could fall apart completely in the 2 or 3 seasons that we're with Mercedes, and then that would be the ideal time to then build them back up. But if it's not them, we could go somewhere else. Be interesting to see if Aston Martin continue their push as the game progresses as well, whether they stay a top team or whether they immediately start to fall back down the order again. Be interesting to see what happens with McLaren. Haas, I want to kind of try and avoid, where possible, some of the teams that we used in this game. So we're not going to go Aston Martin. Also, they're going to be too good to start with, I think. We haven't done a Mercedes career in this. We did Williams, we did Haas, and we've done Aston Martin. So I'm looking at starting Mercedes. I want to at some point go to Ferrari on that save file. But at the same time, you know, there are other options out there as well that we haven't used. I mean, we could maybe go Alpine. We could go McLaren. Restoring McLaren is something that would be an interesting challenge if they're struggling. You've also got, you know, Alfa Romeo. Alpha Tauri could be a really good one to do. Rebuild Alpha Tauri. You know, so there's options out there. You know, outside of the top teams. We won't be going with Red Bull at any point because, you know, they're going to be too good. There's going to be no challenge.
The checkered flag is now out.
All right, so we've got Freddie up to just under 90% by the look of it. With a not perfect setup, not even optimal. It's great at 97, not optimal at 97. That to me suggests that we're looking at 14 out of 15, maybe 13 if we're unlucky. Yeah, we got the 14. That's good. All right, so Freddie's got that 3-place penalty from being hit by Schumacher into Russell. That'll drop him back 3 places. So we will give him a slipstream behind Felipe in qualifying in the final session, assuming they both get through to the final session. Gearbox is down to 60%, so if he has another bang into the wall, that gearbox is going to be knackered. Car parts. He is not running the new chassis. I didn't think he was. So we're just going to make one. There's no point making a spare because it's not going to get used. We will install that. There we go. He's onto the best chassis. Front wings. We've only got 2 front wings, so we definitely need to manufacture a couple of spares. There we go. And let's swap over the parts on Felipe's car. So best engine, best ERS module, and the only gearbox that's suitable. There we go. Right, for the final time this year, this game, let's go qualifying.
Radio check. Radio check.
Okay, it's green now.
I haven't seen any details of the trophies being published anywhere yet. Doesn't mean they're not out there. I've not really gone looking for them, but I've not seen any stories pop up in my news feeds. Alright, drivers are going to start winding it up any second. Here they go. It's around the final corner to start their flying laps. I've always thought it very odd that circuit the straight just narrows the way it does on the approach to that corner. Because it's quite a severe narrowing as well. It's not like a smooth transition, it's just like, vroom, squeezes it quite sharply. And on the racing line as well. So there we go, a 123.4 and a 123.4. Very good. Those times should comfortably get us through to the next session. As expected, Perez running that older engine, despite the new ERS module, is way off the pace. Verstappen is very close to Freddie and Felipe, splitting the two of them. And given his win in Brazil and his resolute defending, we can't rule out Leclerc either. So, looks like it's a 4-horse race potentially. We'll see if any of the order shakes up a little bit through the rest of quali. And we're going to get any big names getting dropped. Norris goes quickest, but he got a slipstream off Hamilton. Tsunoda, Vettel, was that Gasly out as well? Yeah, Tsunoda, Vettel, Zhou, Gasly and Schumacher. That's a shame for Zhou. Zhou was so quick in the last race. I mean, he wasn't race-winning pace quick, but he was quick enough to get himself, you know, in the top 10 in qualifying and then up into the points in the end. Kept himself clean. But that's disappointing for the Alfa Romeos. Schumacher's had a horrible weekend. I'm not surprised he's down there. Might not have spare parts to take some of the damage off that car. A slow time as well. Very slow compared to everybody else. 7/10 off. Alright, into Q2. We'll see if we can sneak through on the same set of tyres.
Radio check.
Radio check.
Also going to go straight out and get Freddie in the slipstream. And we might well have to do another run. So I'm just laying down a banker lap here. Hopefully it will be good enough. I'm gonna get sights in the way. Oh, look how much Freddie's dropped back. He'll get a slipstream to close that gap up a little bit, but that's hurt him. He was so quick in the first sector and he's just miles off in the middle. Jeez, that cost him 1.5 seconds. So Freddie's definitely got to go again. Felipe might be safe. And that hopefully will hold up sights a little bit there. Bit of tit for tat. No, we didn't. Not really. So let's put some fresh tyres on. Do I think I can squeeze him through? Not really. It's a big time difference. Yeah, we'll have to go. It's not going to be 3.4 seconds, but we are going to need the fresh tyres. Freddie should be safe. Felipe should be safe. It's just Freddie we need to send out. Alright, there we go. That's Freddie going out. Bottas looking quick in that first sector. That first time. I wonder if he got a slipstream. We've got... Is that a Williams? In front of the Alfa Romeo, in front of the Red Bull? I think it might be. We look to be close enough to get a slipstream off the back of whichever McLaren that is. Let's have a look. It's Hamilton. Maybe we're a little bit far off. Perez is probably going to get a slipstream off the back of Stroll. Everyone running new tyres, apart from Ricciardo, who is not on track because he's already done his second lap, and Felipe, who is in the garage. Might not see an improvement in the first sector, no slipstream, but we should see an improvement in the other two sectors, or this one at the very least. It should improve dramatically. Not really close enough to get a toe off the back of Hamilton there. Very close. Oh, I'm looking at interval leader. There we go. Improved middle sector, should improve the final sector as well. No dirty air and fresher tyres.
The checkered flag is now out.
And it's good enough for provisional pole. That is encouraging. Norris goes even quicker. And we've got a lockup in Sector 3. Is that one of the Ferraris?
Is that a lockup?
It is. It's Sainz. Oh, Karma is a bitch.
We can
Sainz
take a
is
look
going
now.
out.
Let's have another look. Science is the focus here. Well, they've locked up.
That
They won't have been happy.
means he's not going to improve, and he's in the drop zone, so Sainz is out. That's karma for making Freddie have to run another set of tyres. So Sainz, Albon, Ocon, Magnussen and Stroll fall by the wayside. So the top 10 shootout: Verstappen, Norris, Vesti, Bottas, Drogovic, Perez. I'm surprised he made it in. Leclerc, oh, he got towed, didn't he? Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton and Ricciardo. That is your top 10 for the final Q3, the final top 10 shootout for pole position of the season. And Norris, Perez and Ricciardo all have penalties. That's a new ERS. Let's have a look again as a reminder. So Norris is getting a new ERS unit. Perez is getting a new ERS unit. And Ricciardo is getting a new engine and a new ERS unit in this Grand Prix. So here we go, Q3. We are going to run the scrub tyres for both drivers. Actually, no, we're going to run new tyres and scrubs. We're going to have 2 bites at the cherry here. So for our first lap, we're going to go new tyres on Felipe and scrubs on Freddie with a toe, and then they'll both get a clean track, no slipstream, or a slightly distant slipstream for Freddie in the second run, both on new tyres.
Radio check. Radio check.
Radio check.
It is green now.
He's not going to get the slipstream because of the cars coming out. Well, maybe he'll be close enough to the back of Ricciardo to get a toe off Ricciardo. Oh wait, it's Drogovic who's behind. Oh, so Freddie's actually behind Norris here, and he's probably a little bit too far back. Everyone running brand new tyres apart from Freddie in this stint. I'm just going to speed this one up because this is the banker run. We're going to have traffic again. Is it going to be a Ferrari again? Okay, we get past Russell and locked up. That's Freddie's quali done.
Let's have a look. So this was the Aston Martin.
Oh, god damn it, Freddie.
That crash is terrible news for the team. And the team had such high...
And that's going to affect Felipe's lap as well. Because Felipe was behind him on track.
We need to retire the car.
Yeah, copy.
So this is not going to be a good middle sector here. And now we've got the Ferrari in the way. So it's not going to be a good final sector either. I don't like going out at the start of sessions. It's not a good time. It's 6.5 tenths off Norris. We've got more than enough pace. At least we screw up Leclerc. So the 1-2 is going to be a challenge with the driver that just seems to want to destroy his car at every opportunity, and he's also going to have a penalty and start way down the order as well. It's not looking good. And depending on what damage he's done to his powertrain, we might end up having to start him at the back with fresh components. Alright, here we go. While he's doing his outlap, I'm going to go grab a drink from the fridge. Two races ago, you wanted it to go to the wire. Thank God Vesti got it done early. Yeah, well, if we hadn't had that result in Mexico, he wouldn't have scored points in the last race because he didn't finish it. Although Verstappen didn't either. So, it still, Max would still probably not have been in contention. But it might be a close fight between our two drivers in this Grand Prix. So, yeah. Right. Final qualifying lap of the game. How do we do? Can we secure a pole position? We've got clean air, no one around us, enough space so that a yellow flag shouldn't disrupt our run. The only thing that's going to screw us over now will be a red flag. It's not an improvement in the first sector. Which is, yeah, no, it's not a surprise. It's the second sector and the third sector where we lost all that time. We're up in the second. Last few corners as we exit the hotel complex. Turns 15 and 16. The drive for the line. It's not enough for pole, and it's half a second off Verstappen, who got a slipstream. Of course he did. Behind a Mercedes. Russell, I think. Yeah, he got a toe behind Russell. So we were best of the rest, and had Verstappen not got that toe, we probably would have had pole. But does Max have a... No, it's not Max who's got penalties. It's Perez, Norris, and Ricardo are the three. So Freddie will start 7th. Oh, no, wait. Freddie's got a 3-place penalty as well. Ugh. Let's see where he does actually start and how much damage he's done to his powertrain.
So there's electricity in the air, but there's no surprises in that. It's race day.
There was some astonishing work from Aston Martin during qualifying, and their drivers are now poised to have a very strong race start. The work Red Bull did during qualifying...
Mechanics in there looking to see if there is actually a brake pedal fitted to Freddie's car.
For today's race.
Because he can't seem to find it.
Under blue skies. That means the teams should be able to apply their strategies without any added complications.
And teams will have to make tough split-second decisions here if they're going to succeed. An exhilarating race lies ahead of us with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
So, we have got parts missing. Broken another chassis. God damn it, I only just made and fitted a new one. There we go. Right, that's going to be another broken front wing as well. I've only got one spare. I think we better make another one just in case. That's 2 spares. You know, it's the final race. I'm just going to play it safe. We've got plenty of funds. There we go. A spare each and then an extra spare just in case. Engine did take a bit of a whack. It's at 88% and 92%. So it's not taken too bad a whack. It's still okay, but it could be better. Starting in 10th. Gained 3 places from penalties in front and then lost those 3 places to a 3-place grid penalty. Okay. Fuel. We're going to take a lap of fuel out. There we go. Let's have a look at strategy. I am going to go with medium, hard, medium, I think. Yeah, medium, hard, medium. We're going to go to lap 17 and lap 41. So the AI might try a 1-stop. They might go for a 2-stop. We'll have to see. Those who start on soft tyres will be going for a 2-stop. Those who start on mediums will have the option. We're going to look at an early stop on those mediums. Try and get the hard tyre undercut. Okay, we are. Actually, I just want to have a look at something as an option. Create an alternate strategy. What if I were to go medium, medium, soft? And look after the mediums. Could make that work. We'll have that as a backup strategy. We'll see how things start shaking out. If we're able to save the tyres really strongly in the first stint, then rather than go for the undercut, we might switch to strategy D. We'll play it by ear on that one. Right, let's go to the Grand Prix.
It looks like clear weather tonight for this race, with the drivers now just taking position on the grid. Taking a look at the Aston Martin. A second place start for them today. They're in with a real chance. There's the second Aston Martin. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? Everything's been building to this. Anything could happen. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So Freddie fighting with Leclerc, trying to hang on to second place.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Just got the inside going into the hairpin.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
And he'll tuck in behind the Red Bull.
Your P2 currently. Yeah, take it easy.
Okay, copy.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Pick up the pace a bit.
Yeah, copy.
To back off.
Copy.
Vesti has gained a position. Not sure who he overtook. He's up to ninth. Guessing it was Ocon. Or maybe it was Norris. He's looking pretty racy actually. He's moving up the inside of the sights here. These two have grievances.
We just need to push now.
Copy.
Just want to make sure I don't lose touch with Verstappen.
More.
Okay.
And I want to try and get past Sainz quickly before we drop off the back of Albon. There we go, going to swoop up the inside here. Excellent stuff. Now we've got to hunt down Albon, get back into DRS range.
That's it. DRS is enabled now. Drop back a bit.
Copy.
Okay, so we're settled in nicely behind Verstappen. I'm going to try dropping the pace down even more. We're still borderline against Albon, so I don't want to drop it down too much further yet. Right, I'm just going to up it slightly. Just make sure we actually stay close.
Yeah, copy.
Maybe close the gap by about half. Yeah, more fun watching me absolutely, well, if I wasn't bald I'd have torn my hair out playing this game. Just the maddening decisions that some of our drivers make, or the bizarre luck that we seem to get, both good and bad. Felipe just overtook Verstappen for the lead there. Good stuff. Hamilton now is about to be dropped. And he's under pressure from Albon. We've got a yellow flag behind us. That is
Okay, copy.
Ricardo. No,
Sounds like there's been
Joe.
a crash.
Joe crashed.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now we see the Williams here. They've lost control, and there's the crash.
So Albon going to line up
Let's focus.
Hamilton here. Hamilton without the DRS. Albon will sail on through. And that closes up the gap in the train. Albon looking very racy. Is he on softs? He is. That's why he's looking racy. Okay, tyre wear wise, we're about the same. Maybe fractionally better than the front runners. Tyres do wear out very quickly across most of the compounds here. I mean, we saw in practice you can only really get about 30 laps on the hards before they're dead, down to about 40%. You can only get about 18 to 20 laps before the mediums hit 30%. It's a rough race when it comes to tyre wear. But patience is going to be our best friend here in terms of getting Freddie up the field, protecting those tyres, and then pushing up when people start to make their boxing, their pits.
Doing a good job, keep pushing.
Ah yes, the ill-fated spam the underfloor tactic. Very cheap and easy way to achieve success in this game. It completely takes all the fun out of it. Checking with Felipe, just sitting in tight there behind the Verstappen. Ooh, Freddie dropped that at DRS, let's up his tyre pace. Use some battery. Hold off sights. And get back into range.
Okay, copy.
Hamilton is about to be dropped by Albon as well. Hamilton's not on the pace this weekend. Norris trying to come through after his penalty. Hamilton's just about clinging on to DRS. Albon's just clinging on as well. And we know that we have a history of safety cars being deployed on this circuit, so we may well see one at some point in this race. We have every time we've raced here. With Williams, with Haas, with Aston Martin, we've had safety cars pretty much every single time, I think. Alright, we've managed to drop Sainz. Now if we can get back onto Hamilton before we run out of battery, which I think we're just about to do, then we'll be in reasonably good shape. That's a new purple lap.
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, copy.
Okay, we've got a 2-second gap back to Sainz now. Have to keep the tyres a little bit higher. Just so that we don't lose too much ground. There we go, closed it massively in the braking there. We almost dropped Leclerc. And Hamilton has now been dropped. Let's get Vesti to just ease his pace up a little bit. A, look after his tyres, and B, allow Hamilton the chance to try and close that gap back up so we don't lose the DRS strain. But also, if we can't let if Hamilton can't get back in, it gives us the opportunity to try and leapfrog him in the second DRS straight, not the first one, ideally. Norris is through, and so is Ocon. Sainz has suddenly dropped down to 11th place. Missed that completely. But Sainz just lost 2 places. Norris is flying right now. Alright, Hamilton did not get the DRS, so we'll close up nicely here.
We just need to push now.
Okay, copy.
He might get it here though. He might have closed up enough under braking, I'm not sure. No, he didn't. So we'll swoop on through. Thank you very much. And that should hopefully get us onto the back of Bottas. Albon's up to 5th place now. Albon coming alive in this Grand Prix.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
And there's a very real chance that in a couple of laps' time we might be able to drop Hamilton as well. And now Albon is at risk. Just about kept his DRS this lap. Albon and Russell on those soft tyres still. Down to 50% and 60%. Felipe's medium's looking pretty good compared to Leclerc's. Not quite as good in comparison against Verstappen, who's actually saved his tyres a little bit better. Vesti's tyres only fractionally better because we've had to push him a bit more to make sure he doesn't get dropped or get some overtaking done. Norris now dropping back now that he's off the back of this train.
Back off.
Yeah, copy.
Any mention of driver degradation in the next one? Yes, there is, and they actually did a new little video today, which even showcased that. Showcased Bottas losing points. Fantastic as a certain driver is approaching 40. Any chance to shit all over Hamilton, eh? Yeah, I think the way skill points, from what I understand, the way skill points are going to work for drivers now is it's more tied to their performances rather than their actual age. Although there is a chance that, you know, the older a driver is, the less likely they are to improve. Oh, god damn it, Freddie! It's a safety car. Right, so we're boxing. And Vesti's out. Well, there goes the 1-2.
They've crashed out!
Am I at all surprised that Freddie cannot seem to stay out of the barriers and keep his car running for an entire session? No, not at all.
Oh dear,
He crashed in FP1 and retired his car. He crashed in FP2 and retired his car. He crashed in Q3 and retired his car. And now he's crashed in the race and retired his car.
No DRS.
So much for World Championship. You know, talent.
Save fuel.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the medium runners are going to box, but soft tyres will probably, well, Russell will definitely box. Albon, Ricciardo, Perez, they're going to box. Vettel, Ocon, probably. But the mediums are definitely going to box. Sorry, the softs are definitely going to box. Some of the softs. Most of the softs might box. The mediums, I'll be amazed if they do. If it was a red flag, they would. But I think they're going to stay out because their tyres are still over 65%. But this is a real chance now for Felipe to finish his season with a bang. I mean, well, technically, I suppose Freddie finished with a bang, just the wrong sort. And a repeated bang as well. So all the soft tyre guys have boxed, all of them, and we're in front of all of them, and that puts us in a really strong position. Because they are now not going to get that undercut. So we don't have to pass any of them on track. Everyone's lined up behind the safety car, so if anyone boxes at the end of this lap, they're going to the back of the queue. Zhou. What's going on with Zhou? Oh, he's got a broken front wing, look. Ah, so Williams don't have any spare front wings. When did Joe lose that front wing? Oh, yeah, that was end of lap 2. Lap 1, lap 2. He's even running with a broken wing all that time. He's lapped. And because he's damaged, he's just pulling over and letting the other cars through. So we are 10th. And sitting very pretty. Safety car might even come in this lap. It's not likely, but it's possible. I think if it was going to come in, we would have had the warning by now. So that gives us another lap of fuel saving, which means we won't have to do any more fuel saving after this, because we'll have saved enough to earn the rest back while we're racing. So we're sitting here with the tyre advantage, and we've got our fuel sorted, we've got a full battery. We're on easy street right now. What lap are we on? Let's have a look. Lap 14. So those medium runners, they're probably going to go, well, some of them are going to convert to a one-stop because of this safety car. So we're probably looking at no more than 10 laps, I would imagine, before they start boxing. Some might still be two-stopping, so they might box in the next 4 laps, 5 laps. But it's weird, because of what happened in Brazil, we had that point that we earned. We put it in control to try and calm Freddie down a bit. And he just went completely out of control. He went completely the opposite way. That's 4 crashes and 4 retirements this weekend from Freddie. He has destroyed so many car parts. Maybe he knows that next year's car isn't a thing. He's just like, fuck it. I got my championship, I don't care what happens now. At least we've got the constructors wrapped up as well. If we were still in a fight with Red Bull like we were last year for the constructors going into this Grand Prix, that would be devastating.
Make sure we get a good restart.
Yeah, copy.
We think we can lean on the tyres more.
Yep.
Well, that's not going to do it.
Doing a good job, keep pushing.
Inside, no, don't go around the outside, that's not going to work. Why is it still showing the safety car thing? Good to know there are still glitches in this game that haven't been fixed, isn't it? A year after its release, with the new one just a week away.
Use energy.
Yeah, copy.
Oh, god damn it. Glad I made some spare front wings.
Let's see what happened there. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
It's probably my fault for telling him to
That's
move.
a big smash. They'll have felt that. There's contact. It's chaos on the track.
Ah, what a disaster. Tyres are still good. It's a 5-second penalty. That's taken us completely out of contention.
Yeah, take it easy.
Copy.
The lucky thing for us is that none of the medium tyre runners have boxed yet. That's the only saving grace here. Because we're going to be way off the pace. The Ultimate Edition is out in November. Hoping you can bully me into seeing on my channel of what? Oh, Farming Simulator 22. Yeah, maybe. I'll never say never, but it's not planned. Right, it's going to be a long time until we see any kind of action with us, so let's go to the front and watch the battle between Leclerc and Verstappen. Joe is still pootling around out there, a lap down. We are 45 seconds off the pace right now. Well, not off the pace, off the leaders. We can halve that gap with the pit stop that they're yet to take. Oh, got another safety car. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened.
Make
Someone
sure the damage is
crashed,
positive.
obviously. Oh, it's a Haas. It's Magnussen.
No DRS.
That gets us back into back into contention, and we now might see some boxing from the medium runners, but they're all going to get out in front of me. Magnussen binned it in the wall on turn 6 and has retired. Yeah, we're still going to be right down the back of the grid, but at least we won't be 45, 46 seconds off the pace now. We'll be right there. So I expect to see a flurry of cars boxing. Yep, there they all go, as expected. Even Schumacher's going to get out in front of us.
Energy's good.
Copy.
Oh, they're getting held. Oh, they're all getting held. Oh, and Sainz in particular got really badly held. Okay, that's shaking up the order a little bit. Bottas has jumped Leclerc. Now that's interesting. I don't know whether or not these guys are going to be able to stay out for a one stop. I don't think they are. I think they're going to have to box again. The question is whether they go from a long stint and then a short run on softs, or if they go for mediums in the dying laps. The guys who had already boxed, including us, are going to have to go mediums. But if we want to stand any chance of winning this race, we've definitely got our work cut out for us now. A third of the way through the Grand Prix, and we are down in 17th place. You wanted drama in the final race? Here's your drama. Freddie went out of his way to provide you with excitement and drama all throughout practice and quali and the race itself. And now Felipe has picked up that mantle. We've had dramatic fightbacks at this circuit before, though. Remember when we were in Season 2 with Williams and we ended up winning the Constructors in the dying laps of the Grand Prix at the end of Season 2? Not over yet. Stranger things have happened. We've got a car and driver combination that is capable of being very, very fast. It's just a question of whether we can actually utilise that pace. We've got a lot of cars all on brand new tyres in front of us. The one saving grace is that we do not have any aerodynamic damage. So we've got no issues with the powertrain or the gearbox. We've got no chassis or side pod or suspension damage or underfloor damage. Nothing that's going to hinder the performance of the car.
And when we restart overtaking, we'll be from the control line.
Copy.
Right, here we go with a restart.
Energy if you need it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not going to work. Ah, it's a poor exit as well. Schumacher's already nearly 2 seconds off the back of Hamilton here. It's making it easier for Gasly to defend, and it's going to make it hard for us to overtake. We did this last time against Gasly, and we ended up hitting him and taking him out. No such drama this time round. Getting squeezed a little bit, but we've got the drive. Can we get the line against Schumacher? Yes, we can. We're through against both of them. Good stuff.
Let's just keep doing
Right, now we've got a bit of work to do to get onto the back of Hamilton. Albon and Russell breaking away from the Alpines at the front.
Aston Martin took a chance, and it's paid off. We can take a look now. So this was the Aston Martin.
We should be able to break away from Schumacher really quickly here, so we shouldn't have to worry about him getting DRS. Gasly will get it, and we'll probably leapfrog him. But we need to get onto the back of Hamilton ASAP. Let's see, I've got no more battery to give, really. Need to keep the rest for the rest of the lap. Should hopefully close up a bit here under braking. Maybe a tenth. Hamilton closed up a lot. He was almost a second off Sainz. He closed that right back up again. Schumacher and Gasly side by side. They're 2.5 seconds behind us already. That was why it was so important for us to get past those two quickly. Gasly's still not quite able to complete the move. He should just about get it done coming into the final corner. Oh, he's gone into the wall! It's another safety car.
No DRS. Safety car.
This race is just getting crazier and crazier. Okay. I'm going to explore a new strategy here. So, we got so many stops already. What happens if I go onto mediums now from the back of the grid, and then...
We've had a crash!
Go onto a set of softs at the end, because I'm expecting the AI is going to have to do this anyway. It's a messy strategy, but I think I'm going to do that. The only person we're going to have to re-overtake is going to be Schumacher, but we're going to be on mediums. And then we'll have soft and be really quick at the end of the Grand Prix. Yeah, let's do it. Let's take that gamble.
Box.
Yeah, copy box.
Vettel's in third. It's going to be weird not having him in the next game.
Pit lane.
Copy.
We can still go back onto those hards if we need to. They're not that bad. They're 84%. So if we get to a point where we get a safety car and it's too early for us to put on the softs, we could potentially go back onto those hard tyres again. But this should, in theory, make it a little bit easier for us to fight our way up through the traffic. It's been a chaotic race so far. I don't think we've had a race this hectic in this entire challenge mode playthrough. We are now officially on a 5-stop strategy. No, 4-stop strategy, sorry. And if we were doing another season, that penalty for Gasly would carry across to the start of next season. Don't forget, at the end of this Grand Prix, we will be advancing time to the end of the calendar year to see who goes where, both in terms of staff and drivers, and also see just how bad next year's car is going to be with zero research done on it. And if Lewis retires. I think he's still got another year on his contract, so he won't retire until his contract ends if he's going to retire. Not sure. I just can't remember how long he's got left on his deal. Safety car number 3. Kind of wish I'd taken 2 laps of fuel out now.
Safe fuel, safe fuel.
Copy.
This is more about looking after the tyres than anything else.
Safety car will be in this lap.
Yeah, copy.
I know it doesn't, directly say that this improves tyre wear, but you're putting less heat into the tyres, which means they don't wear out quite so quickly. That's why I always notice the teams with really good brakes, their tyre wear is always that little bit better than the other teams, because there's less heat in the wheels. And we managed to get our battery almost completely recharged again as well, which is good.
Make sure we get a good restart.
Copy.
We can push more.
Copy.
No saving required.
Copy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yep, copy.
Alright, let's see if we can get him under braking. Oh no, he chopped across us. That was a bit rude. Perez already a second off his teammate.
Use energy.
We need to clear Schumacher on this lap. Come on, get him, get him, get him. There you go. Oh, come on. And now he's getting a toe off the back of Hamilton. Can we get him under braking? No.
This is good, come on. We're good to push.
Copy.
DRS enabled.
Ah, come on. Right, finally through. Okay, everyone's slowing up really, really strangely to that corner there.
You're doing a good job.
And once again, we're chasing down Hamilton. So back to where we were when the safety car came out, but now we've got better tyres. Hamilton's stuck behind Stroll, who's dropping off the back. Lots of little breaks starting to open up already. Ocon's got ahead of Perez. But he's just about to get dropped by Verstappen. Bottas is dropped off the back of Perez. Norris is off the back of Leclerc. Stroll's off the back of Sainz. I'm expecting Hamilton to slot in front of us, and there he is. But we're now 3 seconds off the back of Sainz. That's not good. We need to clear these guys quickly. I was hoping he was going to throw it up the inside there. We're still struggling for time. If we can get clear, we'll start eating that gap up. Just getting clear. The problem with these back-to-back DRS straights is that one car overtakes on the first one and then immediately gets re-overtaken on the second one, and you get stuck behind the pair of them while they're fighting.
Energy if you need it.
Copy.
Let's try and force the issue. swoop past a pair of them.
Good job.
Aston Martin are moving up the field. Let's take a closer look. So this was the Aston Martin.
Now we need to break away from Stroll ASAP. Then we can calm things down again, get onto the back of Sainz, and then we can start charging up again. That's a new purple lap, 1:27.0. Considerably faster than everybody in front of us. Of course, a little bit of battery boosting going on, but we'll take it. Even like this, we're still closing. We're burning off that excess fuel as well. Although it is pushing the tyre temps up a little bit higher than I would like. Needs to be done. Need to get the weight out of the car. You'd be amazed how much quicker you can get off the line at a circuit, especially like Monaco, and into that first turn at Saint-Devote with 2 laps less fuel than the cars in front of you. Someone's locked up in front. Is this going to be another yellow flag? Another safety car? No, it's just a yellow. Who was it? Sonoda? It was Yuki.
Now let's look at this. The focus on Sonoda,
who was quite close in front of us. There's us. So that's one less car that we have to overtake. That's good. Tyres still hanging on. Things closing back up in front of us. So that is a single train now from Albon all the way back.
Push a bit more.
Yeah, copy.
Make sure we get onto it at the end of this start-finish section. Okay, we're in. Science looking for the overtake on Ocon. Those two scrapping has dropped them off the back of the cars in front. I thought for a second we had a lunge up the inside of Science there. It went very wide.
Save fuel.
Copy.
Doing a good job.
Okay, past Ocon. I wonder if Joe will retire in the next game. I doubt it. I know they're expanding their driver roster a little bit. It'd be nice if we had drivers from outside sports, you know, available as well. Like IndyCar drivers, for example. I know a lot of people will be wanting to put Colton Herta in the game. And Palou, who is currently leading the IndyCar Championship. He's apparently got the option for being able to find an F1 drive for next season, which is expiring soon, and if he fails that, then he'll be leaving Ganassi and going to the McLaren IndyCar team.
Doing a good job. Keep pushing.
Alright, let's close the field back up again. The mobile roadblock of Zhou. Or do you mean you wonder if Zhou would retire in a situation like this where his car's knackered and he's multiple laps down? Maybe. That'd be nice if the AI is smart enough to do that, to retire a car that it cannot compete, rather than just letting them poodle around for lap after lap after lap. We have now got a gap between Ricciardo and Verstappen. Ricciardo all over the back of Albon, who's all over the back of Russell. Vettel trying to hang on to the back of Verstappen and just about dropping out. Might break away. Depends what happens in this braking zone. He's closed back in a bit.
Energy's good.
Copy.
There's the tyre situation. If the AI does do what I think they're going to do and box for softs, you know, all those drivers whose tyres are in the 50s. Oh wow, Albon's boxing already, so he's going straight to mediums. It's too early for softs. So Albon's boxing for mediums now. So maybe the drivers in the 50s will box for mediums and the drivers in the 60s will box for softs. Any team that does box for softs, we should have an advantage on, because I don't think they'll have any new softs available unless they started outside the top 10. So all the main speedy competition that we're going to be worried about will all have scrub tyres. We're getting close to our pit window. So I'm going to up our pace a little bit. Oh, hello. Ocon just lunging at us there. I mean, we've done that in the past, so I can't really complain too much when it goes against us. Annoying as it is. But we protected those tyres long enough now, we can start to use what's left of them. There goes Ricciardo, Vettel and Perez. So we are going to see a lot of pit stops.
Use energy.
Copy.
That's not going to get it done. Ferrari is going to give him a tow. Oh, well, we're kind of pulling alongside him. Might get him under braking. We do. And then we'll outdrive him.
You're in a good place.
We're not getting past Sainz though, unfortunately.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
There goes Russell. We are starting to get into soft tyre territory.
Pick up the pace a bit.
Copy.
No saving required.
Copy.
Ah, excellent. Leclerc pulled out, which is going to give us a slipstream to help us get past Sainz. There we go. Do to him what we did to his teammate. Sorry, to Ocon.
This is good.
Oh, don't tell me we're going to get another couple of cars here as well. Oh, we got
Aston
squeezed.
Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
We got squeezed again.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
Schumacher's crashed again. He's hit somebody as well. He's got a penalty. Who did he hit? I was too busy focusing on this to click the replay.
Get the tyres down now.
Copy.
There goes Ocon into the pits. We've got another 2 or 3 laps easy on these tyres before we can, before we need to box. So we'll stretch them a little bit. This is why I was looking after them, to give us more options as to when we box onto softs.
Energy if you need it.
Copy.
Rocket up the inside of that Ferrari. Can we get the McLaren as well?
Good job.
Not quite. He was going very defensive. These two are just losing so much time to Verstappen at the moment. And as a result, so are we. We get past Bottas. Damn it, I wasn't quick enough with the battery. Another yellow flag behind us. That is an Alpine, I think.
That's a spin!
Yeah, that's Ricciardo. It's all kicking off on turn 6.
This is good. Come on.
I'm going to go one more lap and then we're going to box. I get the feeling these guys are going to try and stick it out. They might have to do an emergency stop towards the end if their tyres really fall off, which they still might do. They might box with about 5 to 10 laps to go. Three wide coming out the corner. We've got the DRS and we've got the battery. And we storm on through.
Good job.
Aston Martin took a chance and it's paid off. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
That's the third double overtake for Felipe in this Grand Prix. We're going to stick it out for one more lap. Now that we've got track position, we're going to absolutely push these tyres for all they're worth.
Push now.
Yeah, copy.
Just hope he doesn't bin it in the process. There is Max.
Box, box.
Yeah, copy. One, one.
So we've managed to extend this stint by 2 laps. That'll give us a little bit more life in the tyres in the next set. We're burning off the last of that fuel as well. We've got more battery in the car. Vettel is the new fastest car on track, a 1:26.8. It's his last lap. I don't know if that was the fastest lap. If it was only fractionally faster than Albon. It was a thousandth of a second faster than Albon last lap. Oh no, wait, it was a second faster than Albon. It was a couple of thousandths faster than Russell.
Yeah, copy that.
So we might have to do a fair bit of overtaking here. Need a quick stop. That's not bad. 2.3 seconds. That's pretty quick. He should get out ahead of Ocon. I don't know about Ricciardo. No, we're going to come out behind Ricciardo, but ahead of Ocon just.
Yeah, take it easy.
Copy.
And I don't think he got the DRS on the back of us either. Oh, he did, just. But we should blitz him in the third sector. Evening, Anthony. Tyre check, there you go. Still expecting to see the top 6 boxing again, just not sure when. I'm actually going to drop my tyre pace down a notch. This time we should have broken Ocon. Yes, we did. We are closing in on the back of Ricciardo. And what happened to Vesti? What didn't happen to Vesti? He crashed on his outlap in FP1. He crashed on his outlap in FP2. He crashed on his first lap in Q3. And then he crashed in the race. Retired his car on every occasion. Joe gets in the way again. That's given Ricciardo a little bit of respite there. Yeah, Vesti's like, fuck it, I've won the championship. I've got nothing left to do this season. He did a Kimi Raikkonen. He just parked up, went back to the motorhome and grabbed himself a choc ice. Alright, so we did a 1:26.9, but we got held up. Let's see what we do on this lap without getting held up. We are inside the pit window of the top drivers. We're 18.5 seconds off Verstappen. That should be enough to guarantee that, you know, he comes out behind us. And we're going a lot faster than he is right now. So even if he doesn't box this lap, he boxes in, say, 2 laps time, he's still going to come out behind us. He'll be quick, but he'll have to hunt us down, and we won't make it easy for him. The only car that's on a similar pace to us right now is Ricciardo. who's caught the group in front. The 126.3, we've done a 126.4. We didn't have any DRS on that lap. We will very soon, though. And if the other cars don't box, they're going to be very slow. Hamilton bleeding time because he's having to drive incredibly defensively to keep Ocon behind him, sorry, Ricciardo behind him, and that's allowed us to just drive straight onto the back of them. It's almost impossible to pass on this straight now.
Use energy.
Okay, copy.
Okay, going around the outside, that's unusual, but we had the DRS and Hamilton didn't.
This is P10.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Doing a good job, keep pushing.
Trying to pressure Ricciardo here.
We can push more.
Yeah.
Going to the outside again. Safety car. Oh, that makes things interesting.
No DRS.
Unfortunately, it's going to screw us over.
Let's see what happened there. Now let's look at this. The focus on Tsunoda.
Tsunoda joining the long list of drivers, including multiple times Freddie Vesti, who've crashed into that corner. But that screws us over because everybody in front of us is going to box and come out pretty much in front of us. Apart from Albon, Russell and Vettel, all the hard tyres are going to box, and they're all going to, apart from maybe Sainz, maybe Leclerc if we're lucky. Verstappen's going to hold position. I think Norris is probably going to, well, 9 seconds. It's going to be close. We might, if we're really lucky, we might be able to get ahead of Norris. It's going to be really tight on the exit. It's going to put us right on the back of Verstappen. Russell, Vettel and Albon didn't box. There's Norris coming out the pits, so we have jumped Norris. So we are effectively Going to be fighting Verstappen for the win now. He's going to be on pretty much new tyres. Yeah, 86%, slightly better than ours. So now we need to be patient. We need to look after these tyres, because in a straight fight against Verstappen, we will probably lose.
Okay, energy's good.
Yeah, copy.
A safety car 10 laps ago would have been fine. Would have been perfect. You know, safety car at this point, disastrous. If we'd been able to clear Ricciardo faster and move another few seconds up the road, we'd have been fine. It's not been horrendous. It could have been worse. I mean, like I said, we came out behind Verstappen, but we did get ahead of Norris, Bottas and the Ferraris, etc., etc. So, on the whole, it's not been too bad. We're saving a bit of fuel. We're looking after the tyres again. Don't actually need to save any more fuel. We're charging the battery back up.
Okay, copy.
And we've still got better tyres than all the cars in front, with the exception of Verstappen. And we've got the buffer of the two Alpines between us and all those other newer soft tyres as well. So, while it's not great, we would have had to work a little bit harder, but we ultimately, I think, would have had an easier chance of taking the win. Because if they hadn't stopped, we would probably have had enough pace to catch and pass. If they had stopped without that safety car, they'd be way behind us, and this wouldn't be an issue. So safety car, yeah, good and bad for us. We were just lucky enough that we were able to get ahead of Norris. If we'd been out behind Norris, we'd have been absolutely screwed. Norris, Bottas, Leclerc, Sainz, they're all really close to each other. And it would have been disastrous.
Focus on the last 6 laps.
So essentially the plan now is to let Verstappen do the heavy lifting and try and follow him through. Try and protect what tyres we've got, while he burns his up trying to make the space for the overtakes. And then just go for it with like 3 laps to go. It depends. I mean, it depends how quickly DRS comes back. Might go hell for leather on this first lap. If there's no DRS.
Safety car will be in this lap.
Copy.
Let's see. How are we going to approach this?
And when we restart overtaking, it will be from the control line.
Yeah, copy.
Five to go.
Yeah, copy.
Let's see, is DRS going to be active? No. So we're going to absolutely launch it
Energy if you need it.
coming out of this
Okay.
chicane.
We're good to push.
Copy.
Oh, go on, son. Another double overtake.
Nicely done.
Superb.
Doing a good job. That's going to help you. Do what you can to keep the tyres cool.
Yeah, copy.
We can take a look now. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Ah, that was satisfying.
We think we can lean on the tyres more.
Copy.
I was half expecting Max to go flying up the inside then. Go on, complete the move. Oh, you backed out. You had it. Alright, DRS kicks in next lap. Yellow flag behind us. That's another safety car.
DRS is enabled.
Oh,
No DRS.
that's crazy.
I think that was a crash. Let's take a closer look. Watch this.
What a way
There's
to
the
end
flag.
this series. It's just safety car after safety car.
And there,
Oh,
we
it's
see
a
the
big smash. Yeah, I can see why it's a safety car. It's basically parked on the edge of the racing line there.
crash. That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover?
No, is the answer. He is out. How quickly is this safety car going to come back in? I hope we only get a one-lap safety car. If we get a one-lap safety car, that gives us 2 laps. Well, no, it'll give us 1 lap of racing at the end. The safety car might be out for the duration now. But the field is still really bunched up after the last one.
Copy.
So, yeah, maybe. It will just be a balls to the wall lap. Just full everything, full battery, full tyres, full fuel. Just blitz the whole lot on that final lap if we do get a final lap. I want the safety car in at the end of this lap. Not this one, obviously. Yeah, the next lap. Keeping my fingers crossed. We can still win this Grand Prix, damn it.
2 to go.
Yeah.
How many safety cars is that now? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 safety cars. Come on, mate, it's only been 5 retirements to bring out the 5 safety cars. And Joe might not actually get back ahead of Leclerc, despite Leclerc being out. I don't think he's going to have enough laps to unlap himself against Leclerc, so I think Leclerc's going to finish in 15th. Come on, safety car in this lap, please. Got a full battery, a full fuel tank, and plenty of tyres just itching to be used. The whole field's bunched up. Come on, safety car in. Come on, come on, come on. Safety car in, safety car in. It's not going to happen, is it? Damn it! It is! Yes! We've got a 1 lap shot.
They'll come to us.
Yep, copy.
Here we go. Come on, baby.
Good restart.
Copy.
This will be our last lap.
Throw it at the inside. There we go, that's Vettel. Throw it at the inside of Russell. Yeah, we're through.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Let's not overdo the tyres. Last thing I want to do now is crash. We've done it. I can't believe we've done it. We actually won the Grand Prix. Of course, I'm getting ahead of myself. We've still got a few corners where we could crash yet. Come on! Yes! What a way to finish the series. Oh my god, what a way to finish F1 22, F1 Manager 22. Whew.
Let's take a look at the replay. And with that, Aston Martin picks up the win.
There'll be celebrations tonight after a performance like that. They've done themselves and the team proud.
Oh my word. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I had to work so hard for that one, but oh, it was worth it in the end.
What an incredible outcome for Aston Martin's driver. Today, Aston Martin demonstrated that they can go very far indeed.
Absolutely. Whatever they're doing over at the team garage, I should think they're going to keep on doing it.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
And that's it for this season of Formula One. The teams will be working hard in the break, gearing up for another year of thrilling F1 action.
So, it says we gained 1 place, but it doesn't tell the whole story. We had to fight through like crazy to get ourselves back into contention there. Russell gaining 2 places, gets a podium. That is going to give Mercedes the edge over McLaren in the constructors as well. Bottas and Hamilton just not able to perform in this Grand Prix. What a race for Vettel. So slow in qualifying. Gained 12 places off the grid because he got boosted with some of the penalties for the other drivers as well. And hung on for a podium. Sebastian Vettel got a podium in the final outing of this game. That's kind of bittersweet, I think. Max, in the end, dropping down to 4th. Great result for Albon. Oh, that's going to break hearts at Williams, I think. I think that's going to put them over the top of Williams. Norris getting a point there. Great result for Ricciardo, gaining 13 places, but it just wasn't enough to get in the points. Let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. There is the final table. Freddie Vesti confirmed champion 2 races ago. Felipe Drugovich confirmed 2nd place last night at Brazil. Ends up closing the gap to just 8 points to his teammate, with Freddie failing to finish again. But that's win number 5 for Felipe this season. 14 podiums, 13 fastest laps. He has been quick. He just hasn't been consistent. Freddie was super consistent till he won the title, and then he just decided to just go fuck it and just not bother. Perez, been a nightmare season for Perez. So much promise with that Red Bull and him at the very start of the season, and it all fell apart from there. Russell climbs up to 5th and takes that spot from Norris with that 6th place. With that 6 points, that's 2nd place on the podium. And then it's as you were for everybody else, apart from Vettel, who jumps up a place into 13th with those 4 points, moving him above Zhou and Albon, who also gets his first points of the season. How is that only his first points of the season? He was consistently scoring last season. It's been tough to get in the top 6, but he outscores his teammate, and it's deserved. He's driven better, and in the end, 4 drivers who failed to score, both the Haas cars, Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly, into the Constructors' Championship. We take another 10 points to finish 90 points clear of Red Bull. That is amazing. We won 12 of the 22 races this season. Red Bull only managed 5. They pick up 3 more points. They finish 50 points ahead of Mercedes, who do jump McLaren and beat them by 7 points. Well, actually, they were already ahead, but they extended that gap slightly. So they got 3 wins this year, 9 podiums, 2 wins and 7 podiums. Not a bad season by any stretch of the imagination for McLaren. That constitutes some form of a recovery. What a disaster for Ferrari. No wins, only 4 podiums all season, 2 pole positions. Awful season for Ferrari. Alpine do hang on to 6th, and Alpha do jump Williams in the end. It wasn't Alpha Tauri, it was Alfa Romeo who got them. Vettel's podium moved the team up to 7th above Williams in the Constructors' Championship. Heartbreak for Williams, but they do finish in 8th place ahead of Alpha Tauri on countback. And then Haas, the only team to not score points. Let's have a look at the driver ratings. It's going to be a disappointing, it should be a bloody awful rating, but I don't think that's going to be here somehow. Disappointing again for Freddie. 2 disappointings in a row. Just 3 overtakes, 3 defences, 3 failed overtakes, and too many collisions in the wall to count. As for Felipe, what a Grand Prix he had. 19 overtakes, 12 defences, 23 failed overtakes, 4 failed defences, an exceptional rating. He was phenomenal again tonight, and he earned that extra development point. Sponsors went home happy. We didn't get the finish position, but that was just an incentive. We didn't make any guarantees, and we came out with another 4.2 mil, which we really didn't need. Right, end of season board review. it's about to happen. Let's just give Felipe another point. Let's give his reactions a boost, just because. There we go. So, championship success. On behalf of the board, I want to extend a very eager congratulations for winning both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. Our confidence in you has clearly been well placed, and we could not be happier for this success or prouder of Aston Martin. What a truly fantastic season of Formula One. There's the confirmation. Freddie Vesti winning the Drivers' Championship. Aston Martin winning the Constructors' Championship. An amazing season. It really was. We just hit that sweet spot for about a third of the way through to two-thirds, through the season towards the final few races where we were just lapping up the points. Second half especially. Board very happy with there. 24 results. They see the final standings that we've already looked at. Chris Cronin over the moon to see that Freddie took home the Drivers' Championship. Matt Harmon over the moon to win the Constructors' Championship. We should see a thank you email from Freddie in a moment. Matt Harmon telling us that development is locked. There's the thank you from Freddie. He'll be celebrating tonight. He's been celebrating for the last 2 races. Board review coming up in 7 days' time. How bad is that car? He smashed up another chassis. Oh, good God. How bad did his engine end up in the end? Down to 73%. Yeah, he totaled his engine. Well, not totaled it, but, that was a 95% engine, I think, or 92% going into this Grand Prix. He took 20% out of that engine, and he barely did any laps on track. That's just ridiculous. So let's have a look at the driver market, see who's going to be out of contract. So free agents, lots of rubbish drivers, lots of young drivers. Fernando Alonso still out of contract. Actually, some of these guys, they won't show up yet. So we will advance time. To our board review. There it is. Confirmation that, as if we needed it anymore, that Freddie was the world champion. And we were the Constructors' champions. I was going into the season wanting the Constructors, hoping that we might be in the fight for the title, for the Drivers' title. In the end, we won the Constructors very comfortably. And we wrapped up the Drivers' Championship with 2 races to spare. Our target position for the season was 4th. We got 1st. Our target for the long term was to score podiums in 25% of the races. That was 6. We blitzed that with 17 podiums. Absolutely dominated. And we had until 2027 to complete that season, and we did it in the first season of asking. Our team rating does not improve. I don't know why. We just won both championships comfortably, and our team rating does not improve. Maybe it's just because our drivers aren't high enough rated. I don't know. We do get another 1.5 million to go with the 72.5 million that we've got, or 71 million that we've got. So we've got 72.5 mil in the bank. That's crazy. Let's got some inbox to deal with. Tour centers in poor change. Pit crew performance is now dipping. Suspension simulators now knackered. Regulation changes for next season. It's just, in a way, it's a shame we're not racing next season. I'd be interested to see just how bad our car's going to be. We'll find that out in a minute. Pole position gets a point next year, as does double points for the last race. We go back to 25 points for first, and the top 10 score races. There's a fastest lap bonus point as well. And then you've got technical changes to the wings as well to strip out some of that downforce. Before I forget, because it will affect next year's car slightly, let's Put a point onto his rear wing. Alessandro, let's put a point onto DRS, because that's going to be affected next season as well. Our engineers, yeah, why not? Ben's going to be out of contract in a week, which is when we'll find out what's going on with the drivers and staff. Is that it for this game? Yes, this is it for this game now. So let's have a look. We've got 2 development points for Isaac. Let's give him a little boost. Push his cornering up to 75. That boosts his rating up to 69. Nice. Gotta say it, it's the law. No points for our drivers. No more points for our staff there. Drivers are locked into contract for another 2 seasons. Refurb on the hospitality area is done. Uwe Bauer, who is a 20-year-old who looks like he's going on 40 from that photo, is promoted towards us. Hospitality refurb done. Keep going. We've got to get to the final day of the season to see what's going to happen to contracts, which drivers are out of contract going into the end of the season and the start of the new, and then we'll see what happens with who goes where and how good things are going to be. Oh, we could have been doing some research. Never mind. Too late now. There's only 6 days until the end of the season. Let's give Freddie another point. Yeah, he needs a bit more control. Isaac gets another point. We'll boost his cornering again. Matt Harmon's got another point. We'll throw that onto the rear wing again. Alessandro does not have a point, but he will have one maybe before the end of the season. I don't know. Possibly. Yes, he will, just. Okay, so there we go. New development point for Alessandro. So we'll stick another point on the DRS. There we go. We have now lost Ben. He has gone. Our drivers do not have any more points to allocate. So that's that done. Idle engineers, unused scouts. We know about that. So let's take a look at contracts. So which drivers are in contract? Which drivers are out of contract? Lewis Hamilton is out of contract. Charles Leclerc is out of contract. Sainz, Perez, Bottas, Ocon, Alonso, Gasly, Vettel, Albon, Magnussen, Zhou, Piastri, all out of contract. Jack Doohan is a free agent. Iwasa is a free agent. Haug is a free agent. We're into the younger drivers now. We could see some really, really interesting driver moves here. Again, it's almost a shame we haven't got time for another season. Let's take a look at staff. Pierre is out of contract at Red Bull. Enrico is still locked into Ferrari. Simone Resta leaves Haas. Mike Elliott has left Mercedes. FX de Maison has left Williams. Jamon Show is still there. He's been fired in real life. He's not going to be there in the next game. Or he shouldn't be. Yeah, interesting. Let's have a look at aero guys. Tondi locked up for another season with Mercedes. Balbo's still at Red Bull for another 2 years. De Beer locked up for another 3 years at McLaren. Jared Murphy for another 3 years at Ferrari. Dickon Balforth is now out of contract with AlphaTauri. Matthias Peter is a new gen driver. Aaron Melvin has left Haas. Salim has left nobody because he's, again, a new gen. David Wheater has left Williams. And that's it for those. Let's have a look at engineers. Who's out of contract? Bono is out of contract. Ben, we know he's out of contract. Javier is out of contract at Ferrari. Hugh Bird out of contract at Red Bull. Chris Hayes from McLaren out of contract. Gayton from Williams out of contract. Carol Lewis at Alpine out of contract. Anyone else? No, that's it. Alex Chan is out of contract at Alfa Romeo as well. Actually, no, he wasn't. He was. It was Poe Rivera replaced him last season. So, yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Let's see who goes where. Oh, I need to sign an engineer. All right. Well, because I don't want to affect the big names in the grid, let's just sign Pedro, because we like Pedro. He deserves to be on the grid. Let's give him a 5-season contract, and let's give him an obscene amount of money. Let's give him $5 million a year. He's going to turn up and he's going to I've got $5 million a year for 5 seasons, and the game just stops. Oh, that's for the wrong engineer. Cancel. Same contract, but for car 2 to fill the vacant slot. There we go. The most overpaid engineer on the grid. Right, so now that we've done that, now we can advance to the final, or to the start of the new season. So let's have a look. This is where it's going to be interesting. Time to review regulations, blah, 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 blah. We're going to just blitz through all of that because we're not playing. Balance tab, blah, 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 blah. Staying with the... Did we have Ferrari engines? I thought we had Honda engines. Yeah, we had Honda engines. Well, we've got Ferrari engines now. Right. How bad's the car? It's going to be terrible. I know it is. Oh, yeah, that's what happens when you have a really good car and you do zero research. It turns into a really shit car. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Right, let's have a look at the staffing situation. We'll start with the engineering team. So, race engineers. Bono's gone to Red Bull. Javier has gone back to Ferrari. Ben has gone to Red Bull. Giampiero and Ricardo have gone to Mercedes. Ricardo has gone to Ferrari. Hugh Bird has signed for McLaren. Christopher Hayes has gone to Williams. Gayton could not get another job on the grid. Carol Lewis has re-signed with Alpine. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Right, let's have a look at Head of Aero. Enrico still there. Dirk De Beer still there. Dickon Balforth has gone to Alfa Romeo. Matthias Peter has replaced Dickon at AlphaTauri. So we've got a new gen driver, a new gen engineer as the head of aero there. Aaron Melvin's gone to Williams. And Salim has replaced him at Haas. Interesting. Right, technical chiefs. Simone Resta is the new head of Mercedes. Wow. Pierre has re-signed with Red Bull. Obviously, Enrique was already locked up. Who else? Mike Elliott has gone to Alfa Romeo. Oh, that's interesting. Adrien Arnaud has gone to Haas. I don't know who this guy is. He's got the Ian Gregg head, so that's interesting. But we've not seen this guy. He's a brand new guy, I think. He's not scouted. Ben is still at McLaren. FX hasn't signed for anyone. Carlton Fellows is at AlphaTauri. Anyone else? No? Okay. And now for the bit that everyone else is waiting for. Drivers. Well, we'll start by looking at the calendar stuff. Here we go. Team roster update for the 2025 season. Who is where? Look at Red Bull. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. Ooh, that's going to be a really, really, really spicy team there. Ooh. They've got Giovinazzi as their reserve driver. Interesting. He's left Ferrari and gone to Red Bull. So Buemi has gone. Mercedes and McLaren up next. I see Bottas and Ocon. I see Russell and Norris. Doohan and Behrman. So Hamilton is gone from McLaren. He did not re-sign. And Mercedes decided to pick up Bottas rather than getting Hamilton back. Let's see who Ferrari have got to replace their drivers. Because don't forget, both of their drivers were out of contract. And also, they've lost their reserve driver. Ferrari have got Carlos Sainz as their new number 1 driver. And Perez is their number 2. Ricciardo and Gasly are at Alpine. Nick De Vries is the reserve driver at Ferrari. And Deruvela is the Alpine reserve. Running out of teams here. I think Lewis might be out. Alfa Romeo has Zhou. Williams have signed Magnussen. They've kept Stroll. Alfa Romeo have got Alex Albon from AlphaTauri. And Vasseur and Sargent are the reserve drivers. Just 2 teams to go. AlphaTauri. Oscar Piastri gets a drive. He gets a lead drive for AlphaTauri. Mick Schumacher is the lead driver at Haas still. Yuki Tsunoda stays at AlphaTauri. Latifi's back on the grid. Where did that come from? Latifi has signed with Haas. Now, we've seen this before. We saw this where Latifi signed for Haas, and the very next day he had been replaced with Richard Vasseur. So that's not a guarantee that Latifi's actually back on the grid. And then the reserve drivers, Teo Pourchaire at AlphaTauri, and Zane Maloney is the reserve for Haas. So that is the driver lineup for the new season. That is just bonkers. So, out of contract and still not in a seat, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, Stoffel Van Dorn. I mean, it's just, you look at some of these names, you know, no one has signed Alonso, no one has signed Vettel, no one has signed Hamilton. They're big names. And when you consider that Haas have given a seat to Latifi, of all the drivers, Latifi. I mean, you take our 2 drivers, actually, he's worse than our 2 drivers. The only driver who's better than him, who's worse than him on the grid, is Zane Maloney, and he's a reserve driver. He's the only one who's worse. Apart from our reserve driver, Isaac Hadjar. Everyone else is better than Latifi. That is just... Why? Speaking of Latifi, he actually announced his retirement from Formula 1 today. From racing today. He's going to be quitting racing entirely. Probably because he couldn't get a seat anywhere. So he was never going to get back on the Formula 1 grid. Right, I'm going to advance time a little bit just to see whether or not we're not going to do anything. I just want to see if Latifi actually stays in the seat. Because, I say, we've seen that before where he gets signed and is immediately replaced. I'm also curious, without doing any research as to just how bad the car's going to be at the start of the season. It's going to be pretty bad. Okay, so the board objectives. Win both titles. That's the objectives. Okay. Fair enough. Kind of expected that. Let's go to drivers. Let's scout drivers. Hamilton hasn't been signed. Alonso hasn't been signed. Vettel has. Vettel's replaced Latifi at Haas. Yeah, I had a feeling that might happen. Where is Latifi? I'm looking too high up the grid. There he is. Latifi's been replaced. Zane Maloney's been replaced as well. So Haas have signed Hauger as their reserve driver. Interesting. Who else has changed? Let's go through the teams again. Let's have a look. So Max and Leclerc, Russell and Bottas, Sainz and Perez, Norris and Ocon, Gasly and Ricciardo, Vettel and Schumacher, yeah, Magnussen and Stroll. Giovinazzi's still in the reserve role. Zhou is still there alongside Albon. Pourchaire is still the reserve driver there. Tsunoda's still there. Freddie Vesti's now rated above Tsunoda. That's awesome. Nick De Vries is still at Ferrari. Deruval is still at Alpine. Behrman's still at McLaren. Sargent still at Williams. Yeah, so there we go. That was it. Haas making wholesale changes, ditching their newly signed reserve driver Zane Maloney to replace him with Dennis Hauger, and ditching Nicholas Latifi for Sebastian Vettel. Very, very interesting indeed. Well, there we go. That is the end of our entire run with this game. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. It's been fantastic, this series. I've had so much fun with it. You know, we struggled in the first season, started to get some results together. Season 2 had moments where we looked like we might be in a position to maybe challenge, but we just couldn't quite get there. Season 3 started okay, then fell apart a little bit very early on, and then we fought back, and from Spa onwards we were just superb. If we take a look back at last season's results and have a look, Bahrain last year, you can see we got the 1-2 last time out. It was a fantastic start for us, mainly I think down to the Ferraris, just self-destructing on that Grand Prix. And then we went to Jeddah, and it all started to come undone very quickly. We got 5th and 8th, but we were a long way off. Then we went to Australia, to Melbourne, and we had another rough race, 8th and 12th, a race with no points at all. Then Imola, and we were 11th and last. So the season was just awful by this point. Miami, and Freddie got a win, his first win of the season, and a retirement for Felipe. In fact, was it Freddie or was it who won at Bahrain? Yeah, it was Freddie. So Freddie got his second win of the season. And then we went to Barcelona, and we got a 1-2 at Barcelona, but we were running newer engines there, if I remember rightly. Monaco, another 1-2, this time Felipe leading the pack. and the season was starting to pick up some pace. And then we went to Baku, and some of the other teams brought some upgrades, and we were a little off the pace. As you can see, we were quite a way off, nearly 20 seconds off of Max in the end. Second and fifth. Canada was not a great race for us. Fifth for Freddie, 13th for Felipe. This was where his season really started to fall apart. We went to Silverstone, second and fourth. After Silverstone, we went to Austria, a race where we thought we could do well. Third and fourth, not bad. We got on the podium. And then we got to France, first and second. Felipe was recovering his form again, and he was closing in on his teammate at this point. You know, he was right behind him for the lead driver status. Hungary, the last season before the mid-season break, or the last race before the mid-season break, another 1-2. Felipe again picking up another win. He was on fire at this point. And then we went to Spa, another 1-2. Again, Felipe really kicking it into overdrive. And then Zandvoort, second for Felipe. A bad race for Freddie, seventh and out of the points. Monza, Freddie gets back onto the top step. Felipe third on the podium. Singapore, this was a bizarre race. Third place for Freddie. A very early retirement for Felipe. First lap retirement for Felipe. Suzuka wasn't much better, I think. Oh no, I'm getting mixed up with a different race. Yeah, Suzuka, a 1-2. Freddie again leading the pack. Kota. Remember Kota last season? Season 2, where both of our drivers retired with half the race still to go. More than half the race to go. We raced the ham cam for most of that. Freddie Vesti leading another 1-2. Mexico, where Freddie won his Drivers' Championship by winning the race. Felipe coming in third. Max all the way down in 16th and last. A long way off. Then Brazil. And Brazil was not a good race for us at all. A retirement for Freddie. Only, a long way to go still before he retired. And then fifth place. What a fight back for Felipe at the end there. And then Abu Dhabi, the race we've just done. A win for Felipe. A disaster of a weekend for Freddie, but he'd already wrapped up both titles, so he didn't give a toss. But what a fight back for Felipe. It's been an amazing season. It's been an amazing series. I've really enjoyed this streaming this game for you guys. I can't wait to stream F1 Manager 23 next week. It goes live on the 27th. I will not be streaming it as soon as it goes live because it'll probably be a midnight release. But I will be streaming it that evening. So the evening of the 27th, I'll be streaming. I'll probably be playing it all through the day. And yeah, that's what's coming next week. For the rest of this week, tomorrow and Friday, we'll be doing some Aliens Dark Descent. Monday, we'll be back with City Skylines, and then we'll be Dark Descenting again until F1 Manager goes live on the 27th. So, hope to see you for those streams. If not, if you're only here for the Formula One, then fair enough, I understand, and I will see you, hopefully, next week when F1 Manager 23 goes live. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager next week.